Welcome to the channel for the first time viewers. Welcome back for my existing subscribers. I want to talk to you about my thoughts on Rainbow Six Siege and why the player count has dropped so drastically. I mean, it's not even in the top 10 of Steam charts. Now, granted, there's a lot more ways to play. You can play it on Stadia. For those that are over there, you can play it on Uplay, which doesn't get factored into Steam charts. But this game has gone from on lows being at 80,000 players, 50,000 players, and the worst case scenario, like let's say it's that weird time where it's nighttime or very early morning on both the Eastern and Western hemisphere. So those times you'd still see about 50,000 players, 60,000 on, and in the highs you'd have like 105,000. But recently I've been seeing every time I go to Steam charts, it's not in the top 10. B, you're seeing that Siege is down. Let's say the max is like 60, 70,000 players for the day. Here's my thoughts on that. I feel like they have kind of not necessarily lost their way, but it's not as recognizable as it once was, right? So if you remember playing Siege around Velvet Shell, it was a completely different game. The high-tech equipment, it was just starting to get rolled out, so that was around year 2. You had Jackal, and then Mirror was like, okay, it's high-tech, but it's still believable, right? But then you started to get a lot more techie. So Doke will be hacking phones, Vigil going invisible on cameras, Nook, all that different type of stuff started happening, which is what it is, right? They progressed the game. But I don't really think that that's where we lost the player base. I think the player base really got lost with all the nerfs to the actual operators that used to entice you and make you want to get on online and play the game, right? So like Ash, I don't know. I don't even try to go for Ash anymore just because the recoil is just not really worth it. I'm not trying to use the G36. The R4C, they just keep hitting it with nerfs every couple seasons, and it used to be like, okay, I can't wait to play Ash. Same with Jaeger, right? He's got 26 rounds, a lot more recoil. He's slower, which could be you could look at it as, well, now he has more armor, so that could be like either or. But his gun just isn't as good as it used to be. Lost the ACOG over time, and I remember playing Bandit and Jaeger with ACOG, and those were really dope. Almost every defender's lost their ACOG, so there's really no more long range sights. There's only a few. Yeah, people like Maestro, no ACOG. That needed to be done just because he had so many rounds and the gun didn't have that much recoil. And the advantage of it is the longer you held down shoot, the less recoil you had. So that made sense, right? But over time, it's just these little tweaks, these little nerfs, these slight buffs to things that didn't really matter are what, in my opinion, have attributed to this loss of players. Now you take the fact that they have the battle pass, and we used to get, I'm a big seasonal skin guy, so I used to get all the seasonal skins, and now I really don't even care like to unlock it. Like sometimes, like if I have enough renown, I'll save up and I'll get it the next season. Like as soon as it launches, I'll just unlock whatever one skin they give us is. And that's recently what they've been giving us, is like one seasonal skin and then one seasonal skin inside of the battle pass, which I think is just a bad model. We went from getting like 3 skins on an off season to 4, and best case we've gotten like 5 before. I think it was 5. It was the highest I ever saw in a season. Might have been like Blood Orchid. Yeah. But anyways, we had like 5 skins, and we went from that to getting 1, right? So that is like, okay, well, what's the incentive to play? The game was still fun though, but it's like, what's the incentive to play? Like, it's like, okay, well, let me get the new skins, but now it's like, let me get the new skin. So that kind of sucks, right? And with the battle pass, I feel like 100 tiers is too much, especially for somebody like me that doesn't even play the game like that anymore. So this season, I'm on like tier 4. I haven't paid for it, and I'm probably not gonna pay for it. So there's another seasonal skin I won't be able to unlock. But it's like, why is that content that always was available to us now locked behind a seasonal skin, or not a seasonal skin, a battle pass? I also thought that losing the season pass or the annual pass, the year pass, would have been a bad thing, but or would have been a good thing, I should say. I thought it would have been a good thing, but it actually turned out to be a bad thing. Items are more expensive, so it's not the end of the world. But I used to get things for like 27,000 renown, 22,000 renown. Now it's 25 and 30,000 renown. And also some of these bundles cost more. Like they cost like 50,000 renown instead of like the 35 and the 40,000s that they used to. So costs of these items in game have slightly gone up, but now there's no discount to offset it, so there's nothing you could do. You don't get that 10% off anymore. And going into the battle pass, you just got to keep rebuying it. So you probably will end up spending about what you would have paid on a season pass, probably a little bit more. But I would say maybe $40 if you buy all 4, if they break it down 1 per season. But that's also if you finish the battle pass. So then before, you would just earn items just by having the annual pass. Like you would get the outfit if there was one, like the Jaeger bite was one, along with the skin. But you always got the seasonal skin or the annual skin when you bought the season pass before it actually the season actually launched. So I don't know, man. There's just a lot of small things that have attributed to where we're at right now, and I don't know. I still like Siege. Like I just literally turned it off, but it's just not the play anymore. I think it's starting to fall into that 2nd, 3rd place game in my catalog now, where it's like I play Warzone with my buddies and whatever else. Like if I'm feeling like playing something else, if I feel like playing nothing else, then I'll play Siege, right? Or I'll hop off and watch Netflix, whichever one. But it didn't used to be that way. I used to get on, play Siege every night, have fun. Would be earning renown, unlocking all kinds of skins. But now it's like, well, I got to level up this battle pass, and this is how I get the skins and all the stuff we used to unlock. And it's just not, that part is not as rewarding. And then all the nerfs to the characters, I get it. I get that it's for balancing of what they say, but I feel like they've balanced the fun out of the game. So that's kind of where I stand at this. In my perfect game, I would go back to about maybe year 4 when Maestro and them came out. So that was I think that was a good time. It was a little bit annoying. Some stuff was out there that was still broken, but I feel like overall I was having probably the most fun with the game at that point. There's been some seasons that have been interesting. The visual look of the game is pretty cool right now. Like they have a lot of nice visual flares, but I'd rather take the gameplay from the older seasons over this new visual look any day. And like there's just weird stuff. Like I feel like I'm having a seizure every time I play this damn game, because the names above every character are like spazzing out the entire game. So that to me is weird. I thought it was going to be fixed before the TS ended, but I don't know. What were we, a month into the season now? A month into the season, and it's still, names are still like twitching over people's heads. So I don't know. The game is in a weird state, and I think all this with people still having sound issues where they got to reset, drop out of games. I'm like, bro, this is like such an old issue. Yeah, that just is why people are leaving, in my opinion. It's just you took away the fun by nerfing all the operators that were dope. And then you just have ongoing issues. The reward system isn't as good as polished as it used to be. We don't get as much as we used to. Can't earn as much as we used to. So with all that, nerfing the T hunt, so you get like 2 renown if you lose and like 15 if you win. It's not that low, but you know what I mean. Like we used to be able to get like 80, 90, 100 renown for a T hunt, so you could actually go into T hunt. Listen to some music and grind out to unlock some skins, which now, A, the skins aren't even there to grind out for, and B, like I said, they nerfed that. So all that to say, the game is still a decent game. If you're just jumping into it now, I think it's still one of the top 3 or 4 shooters out there. But when you compare it to its former self, like it used to be my #1 shooter. And I don't think Warzone is a better game than this, so I'm hoping that Battlefield 2042 is a solid game, because I'll put everything down. I'll just play Battlefield at that point. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about Siege, man. I think a lot of people are kind of where I'm at, where they started playing other games, just because all the little stuff that happened, plus the cheaters. And I mean, they can't do too much about the cheaters, but I feel like the cheaters and everything else is just kind of brought everything to a head. You know what I mean? All right, that's all I got for this video. You guys be easy. I'll catch you in the flip. Let's talk about it in the comment section. Deuces.
Oh, he's outside. Outside here.
No, sir.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!